I'm a survivor living in Sydney, Australia. We are broadcasting the Paradise Paradox at all frequencies. If you are out there, if there is anyone out there, we can provide thoughts, ideas, and the questions. Use these tools to activate your interests. Share these freedoms to help liberate your loved ones. If there is anyone out there, please, you are not alone.
Welcome to the Paradise Paradox. I am Aaron Battle. Now, that was a post-Shemitah message to everyone that's feeling a little fragile, rattled, or precious when the walls of illusion fall down and a little truth slips out. People might have to start thinking for themselves. Now, for most of us, that might have been a while. For some of us, we have maybe never thought for ourselves. So thinking for yourself can be a little bit dangerous. And, we sometimes understand that involves thinking some naughty thoughts. But that's okay. Don't worry about it. That's our secret. That's our promise. In this broadcast, it's actually the secret second half, which is the first episode that Kurt and I did since returning back to Australia. So we end up starting off talking about how I blend back into Australian society, the Australian way of life, after living in Mexico for a couple years, free from commercial television, from processed food, and the luxuries of the first world. Now back in Australia, I'm actually concerned about falling back into old habits. In the second half, Kurt decides to open up his interdimensional notebook, which turns an innocent conversation about X-Men and gravity into a conversation about hacking the boundaries of reality and the brain code and belief systems that are required to make magnetism your bitch. So before I push the red button, the big red button that says, please don't push, have you been to Steemit.com? Steem with a double E. Okay, this is the decentralized content platform where content creators and content consumers can upvote, share, comment, and everyone is rewarded for their interactions. So if you want to check out what Kurt's been up to, you can check him out at Churtzu, CHURDTZU. I, Aaron, am at BattleAZ, BATTLE. If you miss the spelling, you can go to the website or check the show notes. While at the website, don't forget to donate via PayPal, Bitcoin, and we are now also on Patreon. If you know what that is, if you're not sure what that is, check out patreon.com. It's a way that you can donate to us and feel good about it, and then we can feel good about it. And then while everyone's feeling a little warm and fuzzy, raising that frequency a little bit higher, getting those high vibes, we all fall in love and live happily ever after. Who doesn't love a cheesy rom-com? Push the button. I don't know who's watching us.
Yeah.
We just need to snap back to that peyote and go, how many spirits out there were just laughing at us going, look at these fools. They think they live in reality. And then boom, here's reality. What do you think of that?
Yeah, that was kind of my experience. What do you think of that?
Ooh. Yeah. Well, I'm going to say I was pretty chilled, actually. I had a good time. Nah. Yeah. Yeah, I
Pretty chill.
it's
pretty
now,
chill,
now that
motherfucker. How can you say you can't say that?
Yeah, I know. I'm having a dig, man. I know it was, I mean, I'm going to say that, you know, I turned the volume down
Yeah.
a lot. Like, I would have liked to have gone to the other camps across the way and seeing and sit there for an hour by myself, but I couldn't bring myself to do it because I knew I didn't need to see something I didn't want to see. So I stayed cool and I stayed near the camp.
Well, you weren't
As much as
you weren't ready
as much
to
as
see
I
what
could.
was out there.
Yeah.
Next
you know,
time.
maybe next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that. But with this bugging out stuff, because I mean, as much as you think it sounds silly, in Mexico it wasn't really a big concern to me because I knew those markets on the corner every Friday, and
Yep.
you know, water was, you know, I always had a couple. I already had, you know, maybe, you know, a week or two of water in the house. It was just that's standard common practice. But here in Australia, it's a little bit different. I mean, if that tap stops running, then I wouldn't know. I'd be running to the supermarket, and you know they're not going to carry. I mean, from my memory of night fill, you know, maybe 15 years ago, you know, they really only stocked up. What I mean, here in Raymond Terrace, maybe there's only, like, you know, 20 liters, maybe 4 or 5 of those, you know, 5-liter bottles of water per night came in on the truck. I mean, that's gonna be one customer.
Yeah.
So, you know, if I keep going down this tunnel of, you know, this prepper thing might be a problem. I mean, you know, there might be more to it, and it was a concern before I left Australia. Now that I'm back, it's like, you know what? I don't have any water. I don't have a week of rice or pasta or something that's, you know, dry food that I can. And I only watched. I was actually showing Dad an Alex Jones episode today just after lunch, and you know, I didn't really think he got onto it. Eddie's a bit extreme if you're not interested in the topic, just out of the blue.
Yeah.
Probably a bit much. But you know, I haven't got any of the emergency food they sell either. I'm a little bit out of my element. So this bugging in situation is like, you know, I only made a video last week talking about bugging out on a daily basis and making sure you've got, you know, dry socks and a bottle of water, and I'm not thinking long term. That's the problem with these, you know, comfortable, clean countries.
Yeah. And yeah, like you were saying about the markets on the corner here, it's like, I know if shit goes down, then I guess I don't have to worry so much, because I know everybody around me is still going to be hustling to make a living any way they can. And if that means providing water, providing food, then that's basically what they're going to be doing. So, but in Australia, people don't really know much about the hustle. Like in Mexico, everybody knows a little bit about business. Everybody knows about something about delivering a product, spruiking, selling something on the street.
Yeah. You only need to be ripped off once or twice, and you learn that you paid too much for that kilo of tomatoes, and you shouldn't go back to that store anymore.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
everyone's a little bit more dynamic.
Yes.
Well, at least in Mexico. I mean, I don't know much about. I haven't traveled much of South America just yet, but I'm assuming that that's just like a survival instinct that people have when you know, when they're a little bit deprived of the comforts.
Yeah. They're going to get up and make things happen any way they can. Yeah.
I'm just hoping I'm not getting too soft.
Yeah.
I mean, I've only been here a week, and I can already feel my mind starting to like marshmallow. Just want to get into a job where I can just focus on that one task that I do, and as long as I do that and everything else, so the rest of the systems keep in place, I'll be fine.
What? So you're just going to buy into a job and become ignorant? Is that your plan?
I'm going to do everything I can not to do that. I've been online on where is it? There's a website, and I'm gonna call them out right now. freedomcells.coce.co.
What?
I've tried. Yeah, it's the first time I ever came across.
It's like some back alley dodgy website that sells used women's underwear.
I'm just gonna say that again. Yeah, freedomcells. Not .com .coce.co.
Okay.
It's a full on site.
/GeoCities/Yahoo/
Yo, no, I haven't been to one of those in a long time.
Sold women's panties. Yeah, I don't think they exist anymore. Yahoo shut that shit down. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, probably got a little messy. Anyway, so this website is kind of like it gets people in contact with other people in your geographical area that want to start up like these little self-sufficient groups where you can meet up and talk about, okay, bug out plan. Let's people that are on that mindset already, just to get basically probably just meet up and have a coffee and talk about freedom. So if that leads into setting up camps, a few 100 kilometers down the road, that's good. That if that turns into community groups and neighborhood watch groups, that's cool as well. But I was interested in getting on because I want to see who else in Australia is thinking like this and what's going on. But I can't work it out. Like I've tried logging on and creating an account, but I don't know whether it's getting blocked or whether I can't get in, or whether my email is just rubbish in it straight away. I don't know what's going on. I haven't contacted them yet. This happened yesterday, so
okay.
I want to find out who else is on the Freedom Cell network in Australia.
Okay, so you're calling out Freedom Cells for the heinous crime of having a shitty website that doesn't work.
Potentially, yeah. I mean, I hope it's me, and everyone else that's listening to this can jump on and go, oh yeah, I found you. Okay, all good. But yeah, it's just funny, sometimes you're cruising through Facebook and you see something really interesting and you want to get on and just find out how it works and what it is, and I can't even get my login. So you got to register your email and then I'll go through your email and verify and then log in. No emails are turning up. Could be me. But I like the idea. So this should be very cool. And it's like what else is going on?
I can't even see the website, so I don't know. I've searched for Freedom Cells on Google, and there's a bunch of people like interviews about it. John Bush, Derek Prose.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I put in the site that you mentioned, and it didn't come up.
Yeah, coce.co. Wait, that was not supposed to go to you. That was supposed to go into my Google. Let's have a look.
Thanks.
Yeah, don't worry. It's 20 minutes to midnight. You've caught me again at one of these midnight sessions. Okay. Yeah, you're right. I haven't. Yeah, it's gone. I'm just getting to go through Google. Maybe I've given the wrong name. No, it just comes up on Google. Okay, whatever the website is, it's a funny one, and it will be in the links because I want people to check this out.
Okay.
It's in my history. That's probably a better way to find it. Yeah, our mate from in Acapulco, Anan, with his Connect app as well. That's a similar thing. So hopefully I'll be chatting to him very soon about that.
Okay.
As well. It should be.
Oh, do you want to interview him?
Close to. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yep. No. Not cool. I can't. I'm trying to plug a website and I can't even get to it. It's amateur hour.
Yeah, I don't know. I see an interview here with Derek Prose about it, and it's like there's no link to the actual website. So I'm like, what's up with that? Like that should be the first thing in the show notes. So
yeah.
I don't know. Is Freedom Cells like more of an idea than an actual site? I don't know. I guess that requires a little further research.
Okay, I'm just clicked onto the in my history. I found the link, and I tell you, and it's not loading anything. Do you reckon the anti-freedom group has already shut it down?
The government's fucking with us, man. I don't think so. No, this is...
Oh wait, here we go. No, I got it. I got it up. It's like it's a reset your password page, but I'll send it to you so you can at least have a look at it.
Okay.
Yeah, just I love doing this shit live, right? This is funny. Just hanging out online, sharing ideas.
CEO, not COCE.
Oh, EO. Okay. Yep. I knew it was. I've never seen this before. Like I don't know what that abbreviation is.
That's I don't know. I think it's like some Native American word because it's the link I just sent you here. It says the Coeo Community Connector. It's
oh, cool. Okay.
Related thing. Cool.
Yeah. So you can try join on there and see if there's any other Mexican freedom fighters in the Guadalajara area, and it'll let me know what I'm doing wrong if you get through.
Okay, this sounds really cool. Yeah, similar to the Connector app, but Connector is more about individuals connecting, but this is about forming groups. So it says here, in the beginning, small groups can work together to accomplish goals such as every group member having storable food, encrypted communication, a bug-out plan, and ensuring participants have access to firearms and know how to use them safely and proficiently. All the while, cell members make themselves readily available to render mutual aid to their tribe in whatever form that may come. Groups then begin to encourage the creation of other small groups while existing cells organize themselves into decentralized larger groups. Like the smaller groups, the larger groups too have the common aim of asserting the collective sovereignty of group members through peaceful resistance and the creation of alternative institutions. Yeah, this sounds badass. It's like people, if you want to control somebody, the idea, if you want to control a populace, the idea is divide and conquer. So, of course, especially in the United States, I think it's more obvious where the media tries to divide people based on race or religion or basically any minor difference, political affiliations, all these little trivial things to make people forget that they're all actually brothers, they're all actually just people together, trying to turn them against each other. And it's a similar thing if you're like a prison warden. One of the ways to stop aggression against the guards and against the warden is to turn the prisoners against themselves, make them demean each other, fight within each other. So the idea is here, these small groups can join together and form these bigger groups, and that means if the government comes to try to mess with somebody, then actually they're not messing with one person, they're messing with everybody.
Yeah. This is like going old school, connecting everyone up again.
Yes.
Literal like handshake style.
Yes.
Who are your mates? Check in.
Yeah.
So just to find a few new friends in Australia and start a little bug out crew, I thought, I got weekends. I could find something to do and something else to document.
Yeah.
This would be cool. So I haven't been able to get my account verified to log in and find out who's nearby. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming it's up and running. I mean, the site looks pretty full. It's got, it's all there, and it already seems like they have groups organized.
Yeah.
I mean, they got topics, so sectors of groups down the bottom. It looks pretty full.
You think there are a lot of liberty lovers in Australia that you could connect with? Liberty lovers that are like preppers, survivalists, or
I think if there are, they're pretty quiet about it.
Yeah,
because Australia is pretty conservative when it comes to craziness. But I mean, I caught up with an old friend today, and I haven't seen him in a couple of years, not since my wedding, which was a couple of years ago almost. And he showed me he's got a couple of firearm licenses and
Nice.
talking about guns and things. And I thought I didn't think you could. I mean, after the massacre down
Port Arthur.
or down south, yeah,
Massacre.
buying back all the guns. I mean, I thought our gun ownership was over.
No, that was just
And,
for automatic
we were kids.
firearms.
Yeah, so if you want to go old school and get like revolvers and things, apparently it's not
Was
that
that,
difficult. It's just expensive.
Let's see. Is it? Yeah, I think. I mean, you can still get semi-automatic firearms in Australia, I believe. Just the automatics that are banned, I believe.
Yeah,
Basically,
I want to do a little research
you can still
about
get
this
guns
because yeah,
there's just a
there's
shit
plenty
ton of
guns.
restrictions on them. And things like you
and-
have to keep them in a safe in your own home. So basically, you can't use them for home protection because what good is it if it's sitting in a safe? And like if you're transporting it, you need to have it in a lockbox in the back of your car and that sort of thing. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're just rules, aren't they? I mean, I think the important
Rules are
thing
made
is
to be
you've got a
broken.
gun.
yeah.
They're just rules. I mean, if you weren't allowed to have a gun, that's a little bit different. But I mean, I understand that they don't want, kids playing in dad's toolbox and pulling out his pistol and then shooting each other by accident. You know what I mean? Like, saw that in movies and stuff. I mean, that's pretty.
I saw
pretty
that
bad.
in the propaganda. I'm not going to let that
Yeah,
happen.
Does that shit happen? I don't know. I mean,
It happens. Not
I
very
remember-
frequently though.
Yeah, I'd be in Mexico, and just I'm in the kitchen at one of my uncle's place or Joanna's family's place, and I'm just making a coffee, and it's like, and put the milk down on the counter, and whoops, nearly knocked the gun off the table. Didn't even notice it was there. Like, well, someone obviously came home from work early and just took the gun off and said make a coffee and left it there. No big deal. Kids know not to play with guns, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Pretty loaded, sitting there on the
teach 'em well,
counter.
but I don't know
But-
why you're leaving sitting in the kitchen while you're cooking eggs.
Well, I mean, it's just so much more relaxed, right? It's like maybe that's how you opened your beer in the front of your pistol.
Right.
Okay, I don't think Australia should be that relaxed. I don't think Mexico is either. But if you're a cop and you carry a gun around with you, sometimes you slip up. But I think what surprised me today was I didn't realize that you could still have a gun in Australia, and it's just a matter of going to a firearms club and getting a license and getting permission and then buying a gun.
How could you not know that? Oh well, I guess
it just seemed I haven't grown up with guns, and then
Yeah.
I'm having a chat with Dad, and he's like, "Oh yeah, well all your uncles have guns, they're on the farm,"
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Yeah, I suppose you're right. Farmers need guns," and then my mate's telling me that out west, and it's not that far, like not far from where you grew up, Maitland, out of Singleton and Muswellbrook and those areas, and they've got gun awareness and education at school.
Great.
Because they're all on the farm. It's normal stuff. And I said, why isn't, I didn't grow up in a city, exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm already being super sheltered, to a gun. I wouldn't even know what to do with it. That's embarrassing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got to go back to school.
Yeah. Well, I might need to look up firing ranges around Guadalajara and see what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I said there has
there's
to be
probably
a few.
plenty around your area, around Raymond Terrace.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I found out there's a couple.
Yep.
So there's some investigation work. I'm keen to get a license. I need to learn how to use these tools.
Yeah. Go out there and
You never
get
know.
Joanna to take some footage of you looking like a badass. and
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I can do that. It's on the
report back
to-do list.
and tell us how
Well, I need
much of a
I need
survival
Joanna
is
to learn how to fire these guns too.
of course. Yeah.
Just in case. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm attacked by a bear or something.
Okay. Well, funny thing about bears, I have a lot of Russian students and they tell me sometimes, well, the thing is, a lot of people think with bears that you play dead and they'll just leave you alone. But no, that's not a good idea. But what you can do with bears, and I think it might depend on the type, but a lot of bears you can just jump up and wave your arms around, make yourself look big, make some noise, and they'll be like, woo. Looking like Yogi Bear caught with his hand in the picnic basket, and he'll run away.
Yeah.
So
your students do this?
I don't know if they've actually done it, but there's footage you can look at of people doing that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess that's interesting to know. I don't think there's any bears around here, but if you just in case, listen up. Get the lid of the esky and hold it above your head, and just make a shitload of noise, and hopefully that scares them away.
Start throwing tinnies at the drop bears.
Yeah. Bundaberg rum. They're the worst kind. So they always seem to land on your tent.
Yeah.
Or the tent with chicks in it. And then you gotta go save it. Just to make sure they're okay.
Yeah. That's true. According to rumor.
So, adventure time, because, you're still in Guadalajara and I'm hanging to get back there ASAP. Yeah. What's any adventures on the to-do list?
Well, I'm going to Mexico City next weekend to visit a friend of mine from Los Angeles. Well,
okay,
she lives in Los Angeles, and I'll probably go around and see some museums and stuff. But I don't know. It's not that much of an adventure until it happens, and then
yeah, and then who knows?
All bets are off.
Because the other week, it was pretty weeks ago now, when you went out to Palpa, you did a check-in.
Yeah.
But what else did you check out around there? Because you only spent the weekend.
Oh, I just spent the night there, so I didn't even check out the little tourist attractions, like the little monoliths they have there. And it's like they got the picture there in the little tourist information center, and it's like the big rocks. And you're like, wow, big rocks. We want to go out and see a big bunch of rocks. Next time I'm into Palpa, I'll probably check out the big rocks.
Okay. Yeah, there's a few places in Mexico like that where it's like, this shouldn't be a thing, but it is, because everyone comes to look at it, and that they build it up to be something. I feel like that's kind of everywhere's like that. I was chatting with friends and I'm saying, I might be going to Brisbane. With work-wise, I'm not tied down, so I can go pretty much anyway, depending on what I feel like doing and what's going on. Plus, my sister's up there, so I'm catching up with everybody. Mm-hmm. And everyone, it's not just one person, but it's like pretty much all of Australia would jump at the opportunity to say, oh, if you're going north, stop at the Big Banana. I'm like, it's like, it's not even a thing. It's like somebody made a big-ass fiberglass banana, and it's like everyone stops and gets their photo at the big banana.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. You grew up here.
Yeah. There's a big banana. I went to the big sheep, the big merino, and it's got a museum inside it talking about the wool industry in Australia.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, that's got a building inside it, so that's pretty big.
Yes, bigger than the big banana.
The banana's not that big. It's like, well, maybe 2 cars, if that.
Yeah,
I suppose it's a pretty 1,000 times bigger than an actual banana. So that's significant.
It's a scale model, down to the finest detail. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. What's the point of it?
Well, you get the photo and put it on Facebook. I mean, I can't talk. I've done it.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that it's like, well, I'm here now. I may just take a photo. But you wouldn't have driven there if you knew. I mean, you wouldn't have. It's just that you happen to be there. It's like it's not even about the banana, really. So Tapalpa's got the rocks.
It's got a bunch of rocks. Let's throw at this. Yeah.
See, it's the first I've heard of it. I just heard it was a beautiful town.
Well, I stopped into a little new agey shop there, a crystal shop, and bought this little fragment of obsidian. And this is, I don't know, it's not regular obsidian. It had a different name, but it was weird because I went in. I've never been much for crystals, but I walked in and I'm like, interesting, and I started picking up each of them, and like this one particularly, I felt a little tingly when I picked it up. I'm like, that's interesting. Yep. And also some rhodonite. So obsidian is supposed to be good for contacting your subconscious. And rhodonite is supposed to be good for protection. So rhodonite is like this nice looking pink stone. And so now I don't know what to do with this obsidian. I mean, I tried putting it on my forehead during meditation. I thought, I wonder what will happen. Will I go into my subconscious? No, nothing really happened. I guess I need some more practice contacting the.
Yeah. Keep it up. It was probably a few years ago when I broke through, because with crystals, what I think it is, it's more of a belief. If you allow yourself to believe that crystals hold higher levels of, or alternate levels of consciousness
placebo.
Within.
No, I think there is something going on here, because it really.
Yeah.
And it's not like, I've never been a believer in that, but when I started picking them up and touching them, it wasn't like I was hyping myself up like, oh, I've got to experience this crystal power. No, I just I felt it. So I wonder, but a lot of people would explain that away saying placebo. So maybe.
Yeah, well, I think maybe there's. I mean, it's so easy to say placebo effect. You're going to believe it. Well, of course it's real because you believe it.
Yeah.
But I think it's very subtle between allowing, like, just having that wall to say that is all bullshit. I don't want to hear anything about it. Don't even bother telling me about it, or tell me and I'm just going to laugh it off.
Yeah.
And then and then one day you might say, okay, I feel like there's something here, and then you start, opening that doorway to whatever crystals can be. All of a sudden that's available to you, because it's like when you said when we're talking about ghosts, and if you bring the friend that doesn't believe at all to completely block it.
Yes.
So it's probably more about removing that block than belief, because I can't get enough with crystals. It's like, but it's a whole field of study. I mean, there's so much involved with it.
Yeah. Well, another thing is, with the placebo effect, a lot of people will use that to dismiss things, but that's so funny. I mean, you don't necessarily need to pay like hundreds of dollars to get a placebo effect, but I mean, you realize when you buy a medicine, even a clinically proven medicine, the placebo effect accounts for like 80 or 90% of it. So the placebo effect is really what's healing you. The medicine is just, it's an afterthought. So if you say, it's just a placebo effect. No, it's not just a placebo effect. That's it. That's what we need if we want to heal ourselves or whatever. We need the placebo effect. So I surround myself with things that give me a placebo effect in whatever way, make me feel better. Then that's basically, that's it. I mean, the power of the mind is the point.
Yeah.
And that's what we should be aiming for.
Well, even that's hard to grasp. I mean, there was a time when even I would have found that a little bit difficult to believe.
Yeah.
And I don't know exactly what you need to do, but you just start wearing down these barriers to reality, or to your own mind. But I think what's really a worry is the fact that we don't even know what we believe, really. And half the time it's like, will it work? Won't it work? And you don't even know your subconscious whether you do believe something or not. It's like, you really need
You mean
to
if
get your core.
you're in denial about something, or how do you mean?
No, even worse.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't got an example. Let's see. Okay, a big one. Gravity. We all just believe gravity's there, and maybe it is there. It seems to be there, but okay, that's a very bad example.
Let me take that one, because remember last time you mentioned something about, well, I don't know if we're all going to become X-Men, and I said, well, I have some tangent to go off on that. Let me just get back to my notebook. I write these things in my notebook sometimes, and I'm not sure what they mean, or if they mean anything, if they're fiction or fact, or I'm probably going to use this in a little short story, science fiction story.
Okay, I've got maybe a better example.
No. Well, let me read out the gravity thing first, and then.
Oh, cool. Okay, yeah, go for it.
It's right on that. Let me see. Where is it? Gravity, motherfucker. I wrote so much. Some of it's good. Okay, so maybe you should say your point while I look.
Okay, well, I was gonna say milk.
Yeah.
Some people say drinking milk is like, they swear by it. Drinking milk is what makes their muscles grow, what gives them energy for the whole day. Without milk in the morning, they're no good. And other people know that milk is like what babies drink and what baby cows drink, or calves drink. Yep. But normal adults shouldn't be drinking, or don't need to be drinking, milk. I think people, they grow up drinking milk, and they put milk on their cereal, and they think it's got some place in their diet. They just believe, just because of pure repetition, that they need to drink this milk, or that they don't need to drink it, but it doesn't hurt you. Okay, and then all of a sudden we're starting to get more and more people that are lactose intolerant, and they're pulling milk out of their diet, and then more people are switching onto it. I don't know what's causing that epidemic. I mean, if you call it that, but I've cut milk
epidemic of
out of my diet.
Milk. It's an epidemic.
Well, this could just
move over Zika virus,
my reality.
SARS, AIDS. People are stopping drinking milk.
Ooh, yeah,
it's an epidemic for the dairy industry for sure.
Well, I've got, like, because you got, where you stand in the middle, you might have rings of people you spend time with, and a lot of people in my world have stopped drinking milk because it makes them bloated, or it just makes them unwell. And I'm thinking, is this really happening to them, or is this me thinking that it's no good, and then people are just popping up saying this is like, is that a synchronicity, or is that like me subconscious completely changing my external environment? And unfortunately, if you're in my environment, then you might get bloated too. Yeah, I got no idea. But like now I'm talking about a belief, and I'm believing that I've got some kind of external effect on people around me. And to what level is that going to affect them unconsciously? I've got no idea. But I feel like there's something there. So I'm looking for it, obviously.
Yeah.
You found your gravity stuff?
Yeah, I got it here. So I know. Now looking at it, I'm not sure how much this is going to make sense without context. So I might know it requires some explanation. So what it starts off saying, separation of data and program. I mean, you know a little bit about programming, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is, normally when you have a program, the data is treated differently to the program. So the program or the code is actually executed, but the data is just like inputs for the program. It's not executed, and so the data can't actually make commands. It can't actually tell the machine what to do. But it says here, an advanced program should be able to manipulate data and program. Ideally, there would be no distinction. code is essence. Code is everywhere. Okay. So, So it's what it's saying is if you have a very advanced program, the program is the code. So, for example, the program is the data, or the data is the code, whatever way you want to look at it. So, for example, like a simple example, like you have a computer virus. Some computer viruses undergo or they have a process called mutation. So the virus can actually change itself as it goes along in order to disguise itself. So in that case, it's changing its own code, maybe in subtle ways, but it means that it's difficult for virus scanners to pick it up. Or a more complex example is like an artificial intelligence, which can change its own program to improve itself. So it's treating the program as if it's data. The data is the program. The data is the code.
Gotcha.
So the idea is this is the kind of universe that we live in. The simulation that we live in is such an advanced program that the data is the code. There's no distinction. So it's not like somewhere separate from us. There's a computer scrolling through these details and saying, okay, execute plan A, execute subroutine B. No, everything that we see around us, everything that we experience is the program, or simultaneously being the data. The data determines the course of the program. The situation determines how things are going to advance. Gravity is not a law. Gravity is a state of affairs. So put the blocks in the right spots, and that's what comes out. So when we have something like gravity, because the data is the code, it's not like the gravity is this fixed law, is this fixed part of the code. No, it just comes out as a result because of the way things are set up, because of the arrangement of the information in our simulation. Let's see.
So gravity's more of like a relational thing rather than an actual like fixed construct.
Yes. Great. That's the idea. I mean, this is probably all nonsense, but let's.
Unfortunately, I follow you.
Yep.
I mean, it makes sense to me. So the way to break this, or to change the program, to start modifying the code, would be to insert other ideas that fit with the belief system that we're operating in, that allows us like alternate understandings for what gravity could be. So that's okay. So that's getting back to the idea which I was telling you about, like about change worlds and create worlds. These ideas that are so powerful, that they can change how a world operates. I mean, I don't want to throw a spanner in the works. But, I mean, if you start studying things like, magnetic relationships around electronics, like electronic wire and the magnet around that, and then you start looking at gravity like a force, like negative to positive, and how sometimes, positive is going to push something away, then you think, well, how do I change, how do I change my magnetic polarity? And does that mean that I'm going to start flying?
Yeah, but I suspect to some extent we're coming at it from the wrong angle because, let's see, we can take, you can take things like magnetism and you can manipulate them. That is, you can use them in the way that they're already performing, and you can do quite great things with that. But if you really want to push it to the maximum, what you have to do is hack magnetism. Or let's see, another analogy, and this is a little strange, but say you're a pickup artist. Now, there's a few ways you can be a pickup artist, or I can make this distinction. One way to pick up women is to manipulate every little thing, every situation, know exactly the right words to say and have them memorized, like 12 hours of rote material in your mind, so you know exactly what to do in every situation. And that can work in a sense. I mean, it's not going to get you these amazing results, but it can work. But the other way to do it is to look at something more fundamental, and look at the principles, and so look at things like offering value, being an exciting and interesting person, helping people out, making people want to be around you, and those kind of things are the things which really get you the amazing results. I mean, in terms of meeting the people who you want to meet. So the first way, manipulating every little thing, is like an electrical circuit. But what we want to do, we don't want to manipulate an electrical circuit. We want to get right down to these principles, and we want to grab electricity, magnetism, gravity by the balls, and have it, make it a part of us. I don't even know.
You work for me now.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, like I can magnetize whatever I want. What I mean, as if it's as
iron
easy as
or
moving your arm.
Iron, who cares? I mean, this is, like you said, you work for me. That's the idea. Or
it's a function.
I am magnetism, something like that. So then,
How do we go from saying that's cool and that'd be great, gravity, you're my bitch, to actually obtaining some level?
That I'm not sure about, and I'm not even sure if it's possible or if this is just an idea. But but let's see. I'll read out the rest of this just to get the full thought. So it says, I remembered a curious programming language. So this is like something I remember from when I was 15, 16. I was attempting to use. It was a 3-dimensional programming language, and it was built on blocks. So if you imagine something like Minecraft, except the positions of the proto-blocks determined how the implementation of those blocks would behave. So you have these set certain special blocks or blocks in a special position, and say you have a little space invader in that box, and so and there's a little directional thing that says, okay, this space invader is going to move to the right, and then you put something with the same shape into the world, and that space invader will behave in that way based on this rule. But it's all data, it's all code, everything, more or less. Everything is interpreted in the same way. There's no distinction between data and code. So the response was, yes, it's like that, but all the blocks are proto-blocks. It's a holographic universe. Everything is non-local. Everything is everywhere. Everything is everything. Every single thing contains the essence of every other individual thing. So, data is code. So it's not like we need to go to this specific place where the rules of the universe are written down to manipulate them. They're here, they're there. Fractal and holographic everywhere. So if we go within ourselves, then we find out how to manipulate gravity. Or whatever it is. Who knows?
Well, this comes to the next stage on when we decide, okay, gravity's going to be our thing we're going to pick on, and we're going to work on this until we own it, until we are, until gravity's like a function of our mind.
Yes.
I think all we need to do, because you can you can convince yourself of anything with enough work and meditation.
Yes.
But then you need to start building the numbers, creating a community so detached from reality that you all believe the same thing. And then maybe within that community, if there's enough people that believe, then you can fly. I mean, and this ties into like what's the critical mass of collecting all the world's minds and consciousness and going, here's a new idea, and then giving it to enough people that it does change the world, like the infection to the program.
Yes. So that's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is it doesn't matter how many minds, because everything is everywhere. So if I change one mind, actually I can change everything.
Yeah, I like that. I like that much better. That seems like it's a much easier task. But then I'm wondering, okay, I know who I am, but then who are you? Like, are you just a mirror representation of me, and really, your capacity is really just my capacity, just in an alternate, reality?
Yeah.
Or an alternate fractal of whatever I am, living out your life.
Yeah.
But does that mean you're not real? Does that mean you are
only
me?
as real as you
you.
are. I mean, and what do you mean when you say you? Because that's a loaded term.
Exactly. Well, I feel like I'm a lot more real than you are, because I'm in me, and you're just you on the screen here. Like I don't know if you're real right now or not. You're just a computer screen program. Yeah. I spent time with you in real life, so obviously, there's a little more to it.
According to your memory impression. So that's that's the assumption.
I've only got the moment.
Yeah. So okay. So the other thing was, I don't know if I can find this note as well, but it was like wandering around. I started thinking about gravity, and the impression was, okay, well, let's check this out. Like, this is another way to think about it. Each fiber of your being, or each kind of bit or byte of your being, has a directionality. Now, the directionality kind of goes all over the place. It doesn't have a fixed direction, but on average, it's more likely to point down than in other directions. Now, if you want to fly, all you need to do is change that directionality. That's it.
Yeah. But is that just a matter of you thinking that?
I guess so.
I understand fundamentally.
That's what I'm playing with.
Fundamentally, you flip with it. Okay, I got it. You can do that. But that just seems so hard.
Yeah, I don't know, but give it a try. I mean, there's probably someone out there who's going to try it, and maybe it'll work.
Well, that's like saying, I don't know. It's really how am I going to put an example to that? That's like saying let's make it opposite day and watch the sun go the other way and watch the clocks go backwards, and I'm going to instead of go to sleep tonight, I'm going to wake up tonight, and that's going to be morning. Just because that's the way it would be if it was opposite day.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe that can be a thing. But this is slightly different, because I'm giving a more specific example about the supposed technicalities of how this universe is functioning.
It's much tighter.
Yes. So this is, it's a more specific idea about the functioning of gravity.
Do you remember when you sent me something ages ago about teleporting? Like, if you could understand this is like the mind process of teleporting. What you need to understand, it's just about It's not about if I move from A to B, I'm at B. It's like if B was to be A and A was somewhere else, I could just move there. Something like that. And I think there was a picture involved. You don't recall? It was years ago.
Oh, years ago. Okay, because I was thinking of something I saw on Steemit.
Yeah, no, it was a while ago, and you told me to process it. And it was pretty cool, as it was very concise, like a very programmed, steps A, B, C. This is what it would take to teleport. But it was so simple. It was like, all I have to do is change where I believe I would be if I took one step, and that's it. Just change. You change your mind about what one step forward looks like and feels like and is, one moment to the next, and all of a sudden you're somewhere else. It made a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
But I can't remember how to... that's pretty as good as I can explain it.
Okay. Oh, I don't remember seeing that at all. Completely absent.
Did you even send it to me?
I have no idea. Maybe I did. Yeah. Then...
So...
Yeah.
Well, what I'm getting out of all this is there's a lot happening that all we have to do is think and believe differently, and different things will happen. Maybe not straight away.
Yeah. Because
I feel like we're very complicated people, and if I am the only fractal I need to change, then I'm doing really. It might seem like I'm doing much, but I'm doing a lot of change. Even in my own world.
Right.
Like, there's a lot of things. A lot of crazy things happening around me, and I'm going, if I'm the only fractal here, well, seems like there's a lot of issues politically, and there's a lot of interesting conflicts around the world, and even just simple things, within your own communities, families. There's stuff going on here, and how much have I got to do with it all? Could be everything.
Yes, it could be. Don't really know.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, okay, and then I take responsibility and go, you know what? I am causing all this positive good, and maybe it's got to get a little nasty before I get to where I want to be. But we're moving. things are changing.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like it. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
Crazy world.
Cool. All right. Do you want to wrap it up there?
Well, I don't... Yeah. Okay, I feel like I just wrapped itself up. Like, it just went in the conversation, just went...
Yeah.
Like, that's it. How much can you talk about teleporting and changing belief systems and crystals and travel and whatever? Thanks for enjoying another episode of the Paradise Paradox. Just in case you fell asleep, thank you for falling asleep, because this is where I'm going to insert a subliminal message direct to your mind. I am going to donate to the paradiseparadox.com. And while at our website, you can check out the show notes at www.paradiseparadox.com/129. This is episode 129, so check it out. There'll be a little short story on what the episode was about, or something related. You'll find related links and related episodes in case you want another dose of that alluring elixir we call the Paradise Paradox. So, cheers and thank you to everyone that donated. Much appreciated. Be generous, be free, and be yourself. Peace.